All right. The question that we're all asking ourselves right now, does Iran actually want a peace deal, or are they just screwing with our La Presidente? That's the question. Is Iran just messing with us, or do they really, really want a peace deal? I'd like to believe they want a peace deal, but it's tough to say. What does Iran actually want? That's the question. Granted, I don't know. I just don't trust Iran in any circumstance because they've proven time and time again that they can't necessarily be trustworthy. They can't be trusted at all. So I don't know. I'm wary. If I was Trump, man, I wouldn't trust Iran. It's very, very tough. Now, new details from Fox News. U.S. takes out Iranian tankers rudder after ignoring the blockade. Hell yeah. Give me a moment. Look, Trump's the man, dude. Trump's going to do whatever it takes to win this war. And if it means... Because if these tankers... If these Iranian tankers are going to ignore the blockade, that's on them. Annie says, hey, Garza, what up? What up, Annie? How you doing, brony? You're a pink brony, bro. And you dance at the gay clubs, oh, my God. We got Annie in the club. But, yeah, it's good to see you, everybody. It's fun to hang out, as always. Garza, hey, Tiny Line Gaming, what up? I don't feel like I'm looking fly. I feel like my hair's a mess, and I feel like I could straighten this thing out. But good morning, Tiny Lion Gaming. Good morning, Annie. I'm still waking up. I'm gonna chug like a 12-ounce energy drink here in a second. I actually got some good sleep last night. I was able to actually get good rest, which was nice. I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately. But we are back, and we are live. What is happening, my brony bros, dude? It's good to see you all. Good to see everybody. Give me a few more seconds, though, man. I am slow this morning. Thank you, Annie, for the stay hydrated.
Gift, yum, yum. Gift, yum, yum.
Everybody give a shout out to Annie for the gift. Appreciate it. I don't know if we're going to do any gift goals this morning or anything, but I do appreciate the gifts, and we like to give everybody a shout out who sends a gift. So everybody give a shout out one more time to Annie for sending a stay hydrated turtle for 550 joules. Mucho apreciato. Good to be back. Tiny Lion Gaming says LMAO gift yum yum. Yeah, so that's one of the so I'm making fun of those TikTok e-girls that are like, oh, taco yum yum, or like, oh, chili yum yum, you know what I mean? Like where they're all like just saying yum yum after all the gifts they get. So I decided, what if I just had a very generic soundbite that just came up that said gift yum yum, gift yum yum. Because, you know, I always used to do, like, the happy poop, yum, yum. You know, so, like, it's, you know, I'd always do the yum, yum after getting a gift. So, I guess I could do I guess I could say, like, stay hydrated, yum, yum. Stay hydrated, yum, yum, you know. I'm trying to let out my inner e-girl, all right? I know deep down inside of me, I'm an e-girl, baby. I want to be an e-girl, baby. All right, let's watch.
Trump pressuring Iran, telling Fox he thinks a deal to end the conflict could be reached within a week as U.S. negotiators await Iran's response to the latest proposal.
Okay, we got to stop waiting for weeks, man. We got to just say, hey, deal or no deal. Deal or no deal, okay? That's, you know.
Proposal could come today. We'll see. Welcome to a brand new hour of America's Newsroom. I'm Dana Perino.
Morning to you. I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning at home now. Setting a course for peace, sounding positive while maintaining military pressure. to try and keep the talks moving in the right direction. You got a U.S. fighter jet yesterday opening fire on an Iranian tanker trying to breach the naval blockade. It did not work, and that huge ship was stopped in its tracks at sea.
Meanwhile, the president remains laser focused on Iran's nuclear program, making that very clear yesterday at the White House.
This is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon because as tough as they are, we want to keep them alive. We want to keep all of you alive. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they
Precisely.
won't. And they've agreed to that, among other things.
But have they, though? Have they agreed to that? That's the question. It's the question we must ask. Will they agree to that?
All right, new hour begins now. Let's start in Dubai with Lucas Tomlinson with the reporting duties yet again there. And Lucas, hello.
Good morning, Bill. If that Iranian tanker had been full of oil, there would have been no rudder to take out because it would have been below the waterline. It's the first time in history an F-18 Super Hornet has taken out a tanker going to guns to do it. And U.S. Central Command out with a statement about the incident saying, quote, American forces issued multiple warnings and informed the Iranian-flagged vessel it was in violation of the U.S. blockade. After Hazan, that's what the ship was called, crew failed to comply with repeated warnings. U.S. forces disabled the tanker's rudder. Hazan is no longer transiting to Iran. So the F-18 went to guns, raking this unloaded Iranian oil tanker's rudder while trying to run the blockade en route to Iran. We don't know where she came from right now. It's not the first unique kill in history. Recall that F-22 that took out the Chinese spy balloon off the coast of South Carolina a few years ago. Now, that Super Hornet launched from the 4-acre flight deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln on station in the Arabian Sea enforcing the blockade. There are 3 squadrons of Rhinos, as Super Hornets are also called, aboard Lincoln. Top Hatters, Black Aces, and Vigilantes. While top U.S. officials insist the ceasefire is holding, recall General Kane saying Tuesday, U.S. forces have come under attack more than 10 times in the past month. One day after Project Freedom was announced before scrapped, Iran fired a missile at a French-owned ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz after the French sent its only aircraft carrier through the Suez Canal and into the Red Sea. So as we await Iran's response to the American proposal to have Iran scrap its nuclear program, hand over all of its enriched uranium, and open the Strait of Hormuz, it appears China wants a piece in the negotiations, hosting Iran's foreign minister 1 week before President Trump heads to Beijing. So right now there's more than 1,500 ships that remain stuck in the Persian Gulf, many loaded with oil and fertilizer. Typically about 140 ships transit the Strait of Hormuz each day, Bill. Today, it's only a few hulls. Bill?
Okay, Lucas, thanks.
Damn. You know, and honestly, look, I want to see the Strait of Hormuz open up more than anybody. I was able to capitalize quite a bit on the markets going up so rapidly yesterday. Looks like markets are on a downswing. Let's take a look here. I will say Bitcoin crashing always makes me very happy because Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. I'll say allegedly just to cover my butt. But in my opinion, Bitcoin is a Ponzi. So let's see. Yum, yum. Hold on. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Well, the good news is, I mean, I'm good at making money from betting against Bitcoin because, you know, Bitcoin is a Ponzi, and it deserves to go to zero. Anything that's a Ponzi scheme, I'm going to say allegedly, but it is a Ponzi, in my opinion. So let's keep going. It's not financial advice, but
Thanks, Lucas Tomlinson, leading our hour there in Dubai. Thank you, sir.
As the U.S. awaits a response from Tehran, Iran's nuclear program remains a key.
if you guys can, though, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap your screen to like the stream. It does help the channel grow on this channel. It helps the channel grow on this platform. So the more subscribers we get, the better. It really does help quite a bit. So I appreciate all your guys' efforts and everything. And thank you guys for being part of the show, man. Everybody who's constantly a part of the show, I really do appreciate it. So once again, man, double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go.
issue. Brian Hook, former U.S. Special Representative for Iran, is here. Let me just tee it up. Of course, we want all of your expertise, but this is from the Wall Street Journal editorial board on nuclear power restrictions. The president has the cards to reject a poor counteroffer as the strikes in June set back Iran's nuclear program, and the U.S. blockade has the regime on an unforgiving clock. The task in any deal is to secure full nuclear dismantlement. And I guess we are awaiting right now the Iranians to come back. It's hard to tell who we're even communicating with. Would you trust that whoever says whatever they're going to say is going to be accurate?
No. Trust, when it comes to Iran, honestly, trust no one, in my opinion. One moment. I just don't trust Iran, dude. I don't understand why anybody is so willing to trust Iran in these circumstances. I just don't get it. You know, that's just me, though. It's just me. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, please. Oh, Andy, the U.S. dollar is also a Ponzi scheme. That's why I hold on to stocks. So one of the reasons I hold on to stocks is because the U.S. dollar is a Ponzi scheme, right? So people don't understand money. Vast majority of you don't understand what is a valuable asset and what is not. The dollar and Bitcoin, whether it's physical or digital currency, they're both worthless. That's the one thing you need to know. Thank you, Mr. E.T. I'm glad you had a good time, brother. But yeah, but completely worthless is what I'm trying to say. Bitcoin's worthless, and so is the U.S. dollar, through and through. The only thing that matters is gold, silver, stocks, and real estate. If you want true inflation hedge, that's your inflation hedge right there. Stocks, real estate, silver, and gold. The dollar, any sort of physical currency, any sort of digital currency are all completely worthless. So if you've been shilling Bitcoin this entire time, you've been living a meaningless, and I hate to say it, you've been shilling a meaningless coin. I'm not going to say that your existence is meaningless. But no, if you're a Bitcoin shill, if you think that cryptocurrency is your savior, you're a dummy. You know, I love President Trump, but that's the one thing I disagree with him on. Cryptocurrency is straight up a pure play Ponzi scheme. Allegedly, in my opinion. I say in my opinion and allegedly to cover my butt. If you guys can, though, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. If you guys believe that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time. If you believe, like I do, that Bitcoin is a Ponzi, double tap your screen to like the stream. If you think that the U.S. dollar is no different, I mean, the dollar is different, but it's still worthless, double tap your screen to like the stream. And none of that's financial advice, but I believe the best inflation hedge you can ever have is stocks, real estate, gold, silver, and maybe some other commodity I'm not thinking about readily. But gold, silver, and stocks and real estate, those are, you got to save your assets, not your currency. One more time, save your assets, not your currency. Repeat after me, save your assets, not your currency. Having a savings account, in my opinion, is stupid. Not financial advice, so it's stupid. You need to save your assets in a brokerage. Not financial advice, though. Just want to make that clear. Talk to a financial advisor. But yeah, if you were to tell a financial advisor, hey, I go by the philosophy, save your assets, not your money, not your cash, he would be like, okay, you're a smart person.
That's a great question, Dana. With the Iranian regime, you never quite know what you're going to get. I mean, you could be sitting across from the foreign minister of a normal country, and that person could speak with authority, on behalf of the government. But in this case, Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister who you showed earlier meeting with President Xi, it's very hard to know how much power he has or influence with the supreme leader. On top of that, the Iranian regime is talking amongst themselves with pen and paper. It's taking a long time to get a response back because they're not on their cell phones, they're not in the same room. So diplomacy is taking a long time. To the point that you made, Dana, about like the Wall Street Journal, I think President Trump has amassed the economic and military leverage that he needs to get a deal to end Iran's nuclear program. And Iran now faces this choice between diplomacy or escalation.
Brian, it's been reported that they would get.
Here's the thing, though. Iran has a track record here. Iran has a track record. They're not gonna work with the U.S. It's pretty obvious. Now, if they do, it's a miracle. It is a legitimate Christmas miracle if Iran works with the U.S. I'm a little pessimistic about Iran because I don't trust Iran worth anything. So, yes, I am very pessimistic about Iran. By the way, we're at 10,498 subs. Once again, 10,498. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button and double tap your screen to like the stream as well. Once again, tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner and double tap your screen to like the stream. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep going.
They would get a period of time. I don't know if it's 5 years or 10 years or 12 or 15, and I don't even know if that's acceptable or not. But there's this guy who leads the IRGC, and his name is Ahmad Vahidi. And a lot of us here in the U.S. are not familiar with him, but the former leader of the IRGC was taken out. And when you talk about the ability to communicate, it was only a month ago where a group of these leaders were together and they were hit by the U.S. and the Israelis. And
hell yeah, bro.
They were like meeting under trees, literally. So these people don't want to get in the same room yet again because they could be the next ones to go. Would you accept a period of time on the nuclear program that would end the conflict and bring it to a resolution, knowing that window will close at some point down the road?
I think what you could have is a period of time for diplomacy. Maybe it's 30 days where Iran opens the strait and there is some opportunity for both sides to get the strait open. And then during this 30-day period, you essentially, the president still maintains all of his military and economic leverage, but that you then negotiate a deal that would end Iran's nuclear program and its missile program. You were never going to get there without this kind of leverage that President Trump has created. If talking nicely with this regime worked, they would have solved it under President Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
But this challenge has eluded every single president since Bill Clinton.
Well, and this is the problem. We got to stop playing nice with Iran. It's clear. Iran's not going to work with us. Allegedly, violence is their love language, from what some of the analysts out there have said, allegedly. And can you really trust Iran to keep the peace? No, you can't. And this is the biggest problem I've seen with Iran overall. Iran itself doesn't want peace. They don't want peace, bro. They don't want peace. That's what I see. So what's it going to be? What's it going to be? You tell me, how's it going to be? How's it going to be? But no, I seriously believe Iran's cooked beyond belief. They have no shot at winning this. Double tap your screen to like the stream if you think that Iran's cooked.
Iran's nuclear program. So I think the president is in a great position with this naval blockade. Iran is facing an economic cliff right now. They just had massive protests with 5 million people in January that they're very worried about reigniting. And so I think if you get some period where the strait is opened and you start negotiations to end the nuclear program, that could be a very good path forward.
Brian, could you just give us 30 seconds on your thoughts in regards to the meeting with Xi next week?
Oh, looks like my credit score changed. Let's take a look-see. Nice. My credit score looks good.
Trump will have in Beijing?
Well, Iranian oil and oil flowing through the Gulf matters a lot more to China and President Xi than it does to the United States. They have a huge stake in getting this strait open.
Well, yeah, here's the thing, man. Here's the big problem with China right now. China isn't willing to, well, China's struggling right now because of this, straight up. China is absolutely struggling because of this. So it'll be interesting to see how China responds to the Strait of Hormuz being closed for an extended period of time. It'll be interesting.
I've always believed that there is an opportunity to work with the Chinese to have them pressure the Iranians to make better decisions. Like, there's one thing.
Here's the thing, though. Will Iran actually listen to China at the end of the day? They're pissed. Iran's angry. Iran is an angry country. Iran's angry, bro. I'm not saying Iran's right to be angry. They're a terrible country. Sorry. Their government is terrible, is what I meant to say. But look, I'm happy that Trump is doing what he's doing. He's taking on the Iranian military. He's taken on the Iranian government, which needed to be taken on a long time ago. And we're done with Iran. We're just done with Iran. It's as simple as that, man. There's nothing hard to figure out about this. It's as simple as this. Iran has done a lot of bad things. They have.
Thing we can't accept is for Iran to economically blackmail the world by putting a toll booth right there on the Strait of Hormuz. They would be making, if they charged $1 million a tanker, they'd be making $140 million a day. And so that's not in the interest of China or anybody in the world. I think with this summit coming up, there's an opportunity to maybe engage China in the direction of helping to end this.
What's interesting about that, Brian, is that China's going to say,
I just don't know why China would ally so well, would ally with Iran, maybe because they both think the same way, you know? It's the only thing I could think of. Maybe they just both think the same way. Allegedly. I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, if you guys can, double tap the screen to like the stream. We're trying to get to 100 likes in 100 minutes. Once again, we're trying to get to 100 likes in 100 minutes. So double tap your screen to like the stream. Once again, 100 likes, 100 minutes. We're a smaller channel, so if you guys can help us out, we're almost to 10,500 subs, though. I'm pretty happy about that. But thank you guys for double tapping the screen. Appreciate you. Let's keep watching.
say it's not our war, but it is our oil.
Yeah.
And it has to be resolved. Thanks for coming back. It's great to get
Love
your
seeing you.
perspective. Yeah. Brian Hook. Thank you. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full.
Hell yeah, dude. Clogging up the strait, bro. I love it. But good job, everybody. Good job. Hell yeah. Okay, give me a moment, you guys. Samuel Westall, what's going on, Brony? We got Samuel Westall in the house. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Total stud, by the way. Okay. Okay, we're just seeing what we could watch next, everybody. Hold on. We're checking out what we could watch next, everybody. Let's go, dude. Let's roll, man. But yeah, man, this is it's exciting. All right, so we're taking a look-see here at a couple things. Well, Trying to see what the algorithm suggests I watch. Well, looking into this a little further, you guys. One moment. Now we'll watch a little CNBC.
It is about the NASDAQ.
We'll see how the markets are doing with everything that's happening. We'll see what's going on. This was released 11 minutes ago.
Yet again today, modest gains. Nonetheless, we are in the green. Other areas are in the red. The NASDAQ is extending those record highs, up 3.5% just about this week. Retail is getting more engaged. According to J.P. Morgan.
We got Uncle Chris in the house. We got Annie, of course, in the house. Hell yeah. We got Samuel Westall. 4-3. Trifecta. What up, everybody? It's your boy, Michael Garza.
Retail radar, retail buying in tech reached a one-year high. That's notable. JPM says there's also room for the pros to get more involved. They say institutional investors and in particular macro managers have room to further increase their equity exposures from here. And there is bullish.
It's funny because I'm into I ended up getting into a lot of AI stocks. So a lot of my positions are going up. Who knows how many of these AI companies will succeed? But yeah, no, it's just good to have exposure to the tech sector in any capacity. I always believe in having at least some overweighted exposure to certain sectors. Now, I try not to get overweight in tech because you don't want to be overweight on one particular sector of the market. But yeah, no, it's just I love the small caps right now. I think here's the thing, and this might be an outlandish opinion, but I think small cap companies, because of AI, are going to become more efficient and they're going to grow a lot faster. So I do think that AI is going to help a lot of these small cap companies. So one of the reasons I love swing trading small cap stocks is because, well, when I say small cap stocks, I mean small cap ETFs that have a basket of small caps. Not financial advice, but the reason I love swing trading this is because there's just levels of opportunity that people don't realize, that small cap has the best potential for growth. So that's one of the reasons why I buy the dip on these small cap ETFs, because when it does rebound, when it does go on a bull run, it's going to be a very fat, there's going to be a lot of fat gains is what I'm trying to say. So playing the volatility of small cap ETFs, in my opinion, is very superior. And that's the way I see it, at least. If you guys can, though, don't forget to double tap your screen to like the stream. It does help the channel grow, so the more subscribers we get, the better. I just want to say I thank you guys, each and every one of you guys, for helping out, and let's get back to the show. But yeah, double tap your screen to like the stream. Let's go.
Abound. The billionaire investor and the philanthropist Paul Tudor Jones was on Squawk Box this morning, gave his take on this record run. Watch.
I kind of think Claude Code, January of this year, would be the equivalent of when Microsoft came out in 81. And then 95, we kind of look at when we finally...
It's interesting to see Paul Tudor. Paul Tudor Jones is a very great investor, dude. So, look, Claude Code, I think, is phenomenal. I've seen people use it on YouTube and stuff. It's amazing.
Allowed the internet to be used for commercial purposes. I think that was May of 95, and then Windows 95 came in a few months later. Those were both the beginning of productivity miracles that lasted 4 to 5.5 years. We're kind of, I'd say, 50 or 60%. If I had to pick a period, we've got
And this is crazy because AI is going to make businesses more productive. It is. Especially if it's used to do repetitive tasks. I would say maybe even more menial tasks, potentially. Yeah. Thank you, Samuel Westall. I appreciate the encouragement. Hell yeah. But it's kind of crazy, man. I dig it, though. I dig it.
Another year or two to run.
All right. There's PTJ talking about runways, as I think a lot of people are thinking about, looking at these incredible moves that we've had and thinking about how much is left. And he says a lot. Says a lot.
Well, you've got the big stocks back in gear, and this is very important for sentiment. We have seen markets rally without those stocks. We know that can happen, but what we also know historically over the last 10 years, when the big stocks that everyone owns that drive index performance, that are widely held, when those names are moving, and not just moving, but making new highs, as is the case with some of the biggest blue chip tech companies, it really does do a lot for sentiment. And it absolutely drives increased retail flows, which are obviously important to the tape. So it should not be a shock. I also think one of the more positive stories that we see right now, the beaten down software names are leading.
I want to say this to some people in the chat, though. What about tractors, right? One machine on a farm took several jobs away, right? When farm machinery started to exist, what happened? What happened? It took away a lot of farm jobs, for sure. It displaced a lot of workers, absolutely. The more we advance in technology, there will always be a displacement of workers. Now, what is the solution to that? I'm not going to lie. I don't know. Maybe universal basic income? Not sure. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I don't know what the full answer will be. Hell, I don't even know what the full answer should be. Well, there's got to be some sort of answer, you know. There's got to be.
The rally. And that's really exciting for people.
4 straight weeks of gains for the IGV. That's what we're working on, and that is, to Josh's point, and I'll give it back to you in a sec, the longest streak since September. So there is life again. Now, there are a couple of stocks we'll get to in a moment that are leading the charge today, but your point is well taken. This area that was so beaten down has woken up.
Yeah. Look, the leadership group obviously has been anything even tangentially related to the AI CapEx build-out. That's where people have been making money all year. But we understand that when you get a group of stocks where they're about to start reporting earnings, or in some cases they have reported earnings, and these stocks are at a 20 to 40% discount from their prior highs, like these software names, when you get a group like that back in gear, obviously led by Microsoft, but even looking at non-mega cap software, large cap, even mid cap, when those names start to move higher and people feel some relief in that portion of their portfolio, I do think it helps the animal spirits overall. And if you get a little bit of a pause in the semis, get a little bit of a pause in the AI CapEx build-out names, that's okay. Many of those stocks have just doubled.
Yeah.
So I like that the ball is...
Oh, by the way, hold on. Speaking of stocks, I believe a lot of the energy sector has dropped down quite a bit. Hold on. Energy. If it has energy ETF. Vanguard Energy, it's down 1.9%. It's down 5% for the week. Okay. Yeah, I got to say, let me take a look here. So I got a lot of energy companies in this index. It's got a pretty good expense ratio. Because the theory is the one who is exposed to oil has the advantage, or exposed to energy, I should say. Some sort of energy sector. This one only has like 25 holdings, though. It tracks the U.S. companies, though. How low has this gotten? 5%, 2%. Yeah, these are good companies, though. I don't know, man. With how volatile, I want to get into it, but it's just not diversified enough for me. See, some of these don't meet my criteria. I mean, they need to be either massively diversified or centered around one single asset, and have that asset back it up. Well, maybe there's a way for me to get exposed to oil then. Sort of oil. There is the United States Oil Fund, which is pretty popular. Brent Oil Fund. B&O tracks the Brent oil spot price using near-month ICE future contracts. Let's take a look at the United States Oil Fund. Let's see. That one's gone up quite a bit. That one's a little too pricey. Van Eck. Well, to be honest, I'm just going to focus on the small caps. They're volatile enough anyway. So if the markets go down, the markets go down. Yeah, I think it's looking good. I think and also I have the biddy. The biddy's nice. I like the biddy.
It's being passed, and people are starting to re-engage with stocks that we haven't been talking about for a long time as being winners.
Sorry. Let's have a conversation, guys, about durability, which is very much what Paul Tudor Jones is talking about, versus fragility, because they're two interesting points of conversation, I think, and it's how the FT is addressing this story today. Yes, it's been all about carry AI. The question is it too much about AI and nothing else? As they point out, Wall Street's rebound since late March has been driven by the smallest number of stocks on record, pushing the U.S. equity market concentration to an all-time high and prompting warnings about the fragility of the rally. Just 5.
Got it. So the problem is there's like these very and to translate it, basically a few companies are taking up the majority of space in these indices, right? They're taking up the majority of the entire market cap of the stock market itself. So I'll give you an example. Let's look at, well, I'm just going to pull up S&P 500. Hell, you know what? Let's pull up VTI. This would be the total U.S. stock market, all right? I'm pulling up the VTI real quick. Hold on. Did you know that only 10 total holdings in the total stock market, by the way, in this fund, based on market cap weighting alone, take up 32.04% of the total assets of this ETF? Look at this. Take one gander at that. Look at that. 32%. NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. NVIDIA takes up 6.41% of the market cap of the entire VTI. Let that sink in. And by the way, the VTI is the total stock market here of the U.S., which this has 3,520 holdings total. And out of that, 6.41% of that entire total allocation is held by NVIDIA. 5.92% is held by Apple. 4.38% by Microsoft. 3.20. Now, 10 companies take up 10 companies take up literally a third of this index. Let that sink in for a second. Only 10 companies take up 1/3 of this entire U.S. stock market by market cap alone, if we're measuring it by that. That's insane. And people don't realize how scary that is. If those 10 companies, by the way, were to collapse, and they're not, they're very well established companies, but let's say they did, that would put a huge dent in that index. That is a high concentration of these companies. It should be noted.
Tech stocks. Alphabet, Broadcom, Amazon, Nvidia, and Apple have accounted for more than half. Okay? Just 5 tech stocks have accounted for more than half of the S&P's recent gains.
Just half of those gains were all done by those companies. Crazy.
Issues or not?
Well, definitely. Whenever we've had...
To be honest, though, I love swing trading small cap companies because I'm not looking. I mean, I want to see long-term growth, but it's going to take a bit, right? There's a lot of swings that happen. So my goal when I swing trade small cap is I want to take advantage of the downturns in those indices, right? And the thing is, when those indices go down, they go down violently. And to be honest, it's really an opportunity to buy because, I have basically total international small caps as one ETF that I swing trade, and then the other is just basically the Russell 2000. It's the other one. It's basically a small cap one as well. But yeah, I love the Russell 2000 though.
This before, we've had a situation, as we saw a couple of months ago, that an event such as the beginning of a war can hit the market hard, or there's a fleeting away from names that have had these enormous runs. That, however, does not mean that they don't recover, which they've recovered. We've had a series of setbacks to the market over the last few years where the leadership, which has been these concentrated tech names, Mag 7, 5, 4, whatever, they take a hit because they got overheated, and then they come back. And we had expected them to come back because they started to lag the S&P in terms of multiples. You were getting many of them selling at market multiples or lower. You still have a couple who are. And that meant that there was an opportunity. Does it mean it's over for them? Absolutely not.
Oh
Does it mean they can take a rest?
It feels like anything but.
Yeah, they're very, very hot names.
Look at the gains since the March 30 low, stacked for the stocks that the FT was calling out today. Right? From the March 30 low, Alphabet's up 44%. Broadcom's up 43%. This is like in, 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks? Amazon 35. So Alphabet hits a new all-time high. Amazon hit one yesterday. Apple hits one today as well. You can be both durable and fragile.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, man. By the way, these tech stocks, if the AI bubble bursts, that's going to be scary to look at. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm a little bit nervous of the AI. I do think there is a bit of an AI bubble. If we're going to be honest with each other, you guys, I think that there's a smidgen of an AI bubble. That's just me. Call me paranoid. Call me whatever. But I don't know, dude. I'm getting deuce chills, bro. Mainly from myself. Give me one moment, though. I got to do some transfers real quick. I've done so well in the market that I've actually profited quite a bit. So I'm last time yeah. Individual to checking. There we go. right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I made a lot of profit through swing trading, so I'm just transferring a couple $100. Pretty good. ET says Bitcoin effed me and didn't even leave a tip. That's funny shit, dude. ET, baby. We love you, ET.
Can't you?
I think that's the perfect way to characterize it. I think the FT is pointing at fragility properly, but pointing in the wrong place. Because I think this past earnings should have made people very aware of just how much we're on borrowed time, in the sense that you have 4 companies, it's Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Oracle, whose backlogs that we now know are about $1 trillion combined. That's half of all of the backlog related to 2 companies, OpenAI and Anthropic. That's all coming from just those 2 companies' supposed pronouncements of how much they plan to spend. Those are only commitments and handshake deals. So when we do get one of those companies finally come public this year, probably Anthropic before OpenAI, it'll be our first opportunity to see just how likely they are to hit those targets as far as revenues are concerned. And I have a suspicion that it's not going to be what the street actually expects and wants to see. So all of what this is built on top.
Damn, hold on. The Russell 2000 has gone down quite a bit today. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. Whoa. I think I might have an opportunity here. Let's see. Sell, sell, sell. Buy, buy, buy. I bought those at very low prices to begin with. That's good. 110, 113. I ended up selling at 115.53. That's right. Jam, dude. Shoot. I'm debating something real quick, you guys. Hold on. Maybe I should get back into the Russell 2000 while it's dipping. I mean, it's down 1.8%. Let's just get one more share. Buy one share. Because I was able to profit quite a bit yesterday, and I might as well profit a little bit today. Silver is it on the way down? Really? Silver's looking good, man. Tell you what, just to buffer my bussy a little bit, I'm going to sell here, get a little bit of a profit, and yeah, still up for the day. That's good. Sell there. All right, man, I've been getting realized profit through the booty. My goodness, dude. Got some crashing going on. What the hell's crashing, man? What the hell's the biggest mover? Oh. VSS is going down a little bit. Hold on. Ooh. And we'll see how we're going to keep an eye on the VSS for a bit. We're going to see how far it goes down. I might, depending on how far the VSS goes down, though, I'll probably buy a share or two here and there. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going down, what's going up. But crazy.
Above between those 4 companies I just named could come crashing down. So I don't know that we have 2 years like PTJ thinks it could extend to, maybe 1 year.
What do you think?
Listen, I think you have to remain constructive. I think this momentum, it's tough to fight an earnings boom. It is really tough to fight. And what it's done, and I heard Ken Griffin talk about this out at the Milken conference, listening to what he said to the group. And the reality of it is there's a derivative benefit of this. There is now a renewed focus in energy, in technology among the executives at these companies. And what that leads to is
it's a big deal because a lot of these AI data centers they utilize so much energy, so much electricity, that it's going to be interesting to see what the solutions are for a lot of these tech companies, since it's going to be outlawed to hook these data centers into the power grid itself. So where is the energy going to come from? Obviously, they're going to have to create their own solar farms and their own, maybe even nuclear plants. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though. And by the way, I use AI quite a bit. I'm not going to lie. I use AI quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what the result is.
Very virtuous cycle of investment and a rigorous focus on productivity and profitability. And I think we're at the very early stages, and those that are winning should be winning. They're laying the foundation for this. But there's a lot of winners that are going to come out of this in terms of that. And listen, there's questions about what's going to happen to the labor force, and we've shown a history of being able to redirect and re-rig and retrain labor to...
Actually, hold on. They're looking at the tech spider. That's XLK. Hold on. I'm going to put this up real quick. XLK. Maybe I could swing trade tech. Maybe I should swing trade tech. Hold on. So they have 76 holdings. This is an S&P 500 one. So this tracks the S&P 500 stocks that are technology-based, 76 of them specifically. NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Micron Technology, AMD, Intel, Cisco Systems, Lam Research Corp. It's not diversified enough for me, man. If I'm going to swing trade anything, even though these are pretty good companies, though, and 76 of them are part of the S&P 500. Luckily, I have a lot of S&P 500 indexes in my portfolio, so I am exposed to the growth, which is good. Man. I don't know. There's a lot of indices that are crashing right now. What's going on here? Possible that Wall Street's getting a little fearful right now. Yeah, actually, it looks like Wall Street may be getting fearful. Hold on. I wonder if there's a high-yield REIT ETF. Dividend dogs. Whoa. Ah, these are REITs that have very high-paying dividends. How safe is it, though? It's not bad. Selects 5 highest yielding. That's extremely fascinating. What's the expense ratio is a little high. What I could do is I could expose myself to these holdings. I could just look up what this portfolio owns and just own it, you know? Because I love a high-yielding dividend stock. Hold on. It only has 47 holdings? I'm going to send this to ChatGPT real quick. Well, I think I might have just figured out I want to make my own index of high-yielding REITs. It's a little risky. But if I'm right, First off, these appear to be good companies, but I do like high yielding REITs. So I'm not gonna lie, I might actually end up stocking up on a few REITs that I may not have, because I've been trying to expand my REIT portfolio anyway. And you know me, I don't mind a little bit of risk. But the problem is the expense ratio for this is like 0.35%. So I'm like, I don't know if it's worth having. I might as well just buy a share of each of the ones that are in the index. You know what I mean? Especially if they all pay a pretty good dividend, you know? Interesting. But yeah, REITs do fluctuate, admittedly, when it comes down to it. So I'm having ChatGPT research all the stocks that are contained in this one specific ETF, and I'm just gonna buy the stocks, buy the shares. It's funny because I think I have the majority of these. Oh my god, it's funny. I think I actually have most of these. No way. Hold on. There is a possibility that I have the majority of these companies already. Like at least one share of them. Because I'm very REIT heavy. So when it comes down to it, man, I'm all about the REITs. Because I'm all about them REITs. About them REITs. How do I fucking refresh? I'm all about them REITs. About them REITs. Yeah, I don't know how to refresh this, though. Maybe I'll just exit out of ChatGPT and open it back up. I will say the app on Windows does kind of suck a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's pretty good for the most part. Okay, so... Hell, you know what? I'm just going to show you guys maybe what I'm looking at here in a second. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to show you guys my ChatGPT real quick. Hold on. I'm going to share my window with you guys. We're going to be ChatGPT homies. Here we go. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. This is not financial advice, but I'm trying to see, and I think I actually have all of these. I actually have most of these companies now that I look at it. These are all high yielding dividend stocks, but I think EQIX. Let me see here. Let me see. So EQIX. Do I actually have that? EQIX. Oh. Good Lord, I see why I don't have it. It's like $1,067 per share. Oh. I mean, that's a big REIT, but I mean, that's not. My God, dude. That's a Oh, wait. I think I had this company at one point. Did I sell it off? Oh. I had fractional shares of it in the past. Yeah, I don't really need that company though. It doesn't offer a high enough yield for me anyway. So I'll be fine without that one. But let's take a look here. AHRT. Let's take a listen here. AHRT. Dude, this has a nice yield. Oh, dude, the yields on these are great. So yeah, I'll just add a few of these to my portfolio. Why not? We'll just add buy a bare minimum of at least $10 worth of these shares and call it good, dude. This is amazing. So I'm building up my own little REIT index of higher yielding ones, mainly because I don't want to pay an expense ratio for owning the... American Assets Trust. Let's see. Damn, dude, that's got a fat yield too. Holy crap, dude. These yields are insane. assuming these are pretty safe. It looks like they got good budgets. Yeah, these can be kind of like little mini cash cows, dude. Holy crap. Let's see, CTO. Let's see, CTO. Growth. I will say a lot of these have lower market caps, though, is my problem with them. But, I mean, they appear to all... I mean, like, this is why I'm not going all in on any single one of them. I'm just buying one share of each. But this might be an interesting little index experiment. So a lot of these I actually didn't have already. I thought I did, but I don't. But, yeah, this is great because you know me. I'm a dividend guy, so if it's higher yield... having an index of higher yield ones is actually not too shabby. So let's see. Yeah, Gladstone Commercial. I already own Gladstone Commercial, and they actually pay a very hefty yield. In fact, I get 10 cents per month from these holdings. But yeah, so I'm kind of going for the higher dividend yielding REITs, and like Gladstone Commercial's good. GNL, I think I already have GNL too. Hold on. Global Net Lease. Yeah, I have this one as well. So this is one that's already part of my portfolio. So I've already kind of have a lot of the big time Ares, Alexandria real estate equities. I already have that one. That one's been down quite a bit, to be honest, but that's okay. Is it still a good company, though? They have an 8.9% dividend yield. Holy crap, man. Well, I don't think they're... a lot of the analysts say hold, which is totally fine. I've just lost a lot of equity on that, though. That's the only problem. And that's the whole point. You kind of have to diversify a bit when you're doing stuff like this. So ARE and then XRN. Chiron Real Estate. I've never heard of this one. XRN? Yeah. Chiron Real Estate. This is interesting, man. I'm having an this is kind of cool. So, to those of you guys who are not like super familiar with this stuff, I'm just kind of getting into an interesting thing here. Hold on. Do an experiment too. Hold on. Heyo. Let me increase the screen length a little bit. Let me see. Does that help? Yeah, that widens it out a bit. Good. Yeah, some of these are really good. Low price per share, which is really nice. Now they got great yielding dividends. This is crazy. And I already have a huge REIT portfolio, but this will be great having these higher yielding dividend REITs in the portfolio. Because like I always say, I'm trying to expand my reach and trying to expand my yield. So having this kind of yield is always very impressive. Chiron, dude, these are great. These are, and you guys know me, I don't like dividend traps per se, but these are hand selected. I mean, there's a chance that, you know, any of these could do poorly. Keep that in mind. Not financial advice, but let's see. Community Healthcare Trust, already got that one. That one's actually pretty good standing. And what was the yield on this one? 10.82% yield. That's crazy. And then SILA. Give me another moment, everybody. So I added SILA, which is Sila Realty Trust. Like I said, none of this is financial advice. I'm just trying to add high-yielding dividend real estate investment trusts. It's kind of funny because a lot of these I already had. Didn't even realize it. But yeah, there is a bit of a strength through diversification here. Universal Health Realty Income Trust. I do have this one already. Pays a good dividend. And then what's the other ones that I need? Oh, Apple Hospitality. I think I still have this one. APLE. Yep, I've had this one for a long time, man. It's a monthly dividend one. That's kind of cool. Forgot about that. But yeah, Apple Hospitality, that's one of them. It's weird how many of these I already own. BHR is Braemar Hotels. Oh, that's like penny stocks territory. Holy crap. But they do pay a 7.81% dividend yield. Their earnings look pretty decent. I don't know. $2.71 a share. I'll buy like 5 shares. Why not? Get at least some base equity in this. But yeah, no, the thing about REITs that I love is being able to get these sweet dividend yields. And then PK is another one. Let's see. Park Hotels and Resorts. Yeah, some of these REITs have actually done pretty poorly, though. I do feel like some of these could be a dividend trap, but then again, they could have some rebound potential. A lot of these say hold for the analyst ratings, which totally fine. I don't mind that at all. So yeah, I guess I could just, I'll buy a share of that. That's not bad. I'm buying like basically a share of each of these. I'm not going like all in on a lot of these. I'll make an exception if it's like $2 per share. I'll buy like 5 shares. I just want a base minimum equity of like $10 in equity in each of these, just so I can have them. I just love having dividends come in throughout all angles. Now, I don't know which ones of these are going to do poorly or well. It's kind of the whole idea is just kind of security through diversification. But yeah, no, I mean, like it seems like pretty low risk, high reward, 6.83% dividend yield. That's brilliant. Yeah, these are great. It's a little riskier, but not bad. I mean, if you have enough diversification within these are not. I mean, they clearly have earnings. They're not like being run into the ground, which is good. And then INN is Summit Hotel Properties. Yeah, a lot of these actually have decent earnings. They're just kind of blah. They're just kind of boring, you know? And don't get me wrong, I like boring. You give me a high-yielding dividend. I just love seeing the dividends come in, man. So, and these are low enough cost per price per share, so that's kind of nice. Cold, yep, Cold is another one I have. That one's been very interesting. It's a Americold Realty Trust. It went up 15% today. Really? Holy shit. Well, that's not bad. What's their dividend yield? Dividend yield is 7.24%, but yeah, Americold is one of the ones I have. I have like 3 shares of that. I get a pretty nice little dividends from time to time. IIPR, I actually have that one already. Actually, what is their dividend yield? Yeah, IIPR's dividend yield is 13.17%. That's a huge fucking yield. Now, could it be a little bit of a dividend trap? Absolutely, it could be. But its earnings are solid, actually. So I'm a little bit surprised by the short interest on it, just because of how good the earnings have been. I think honestly, it's also one of those. It's kind of in the more like grower marijuana space, I think. So it's like, I understand why some people might be a little bit hesitant. Lineage Inc. is another one that is suggesting. Not financial advice. I always talk to a financial advisor before getting into anything, especially REITs, even though I don't really mind a little bit of risk as long as I'm diversified. Lineage Inc. engages in the provision of temperature-controlled warehouse services as a real estate investment trust. It operates through the global warehousing. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, yeah. A lot of these have really safe cash flows, and their dividends are at least above 5%. This one's got a 5.59% dividend yield. Oh, my God. Yeah, so essentially I'll just be making money hand over fist. It's nice. I wouldn't say hand over fist, but the money will be coming in, though. That's the point. LXP, Industrial Trust. Let's see. It's not bad. Yeah, no real analyst selling. The earnings seem pretty consistent. What does it do? LXP Industrial Trust is a real estate investment trust which engages in financing, acquisition, and ownership of portfolio single-tenant warehouse and distribution properties. Properties are in Ohio. Nice. Okay. All right. Fuck it. I'll buy it. Yeah, these aren't bad at all. They're low cost. Got high the dividend yield on this is 5.26%. Nice. Pretty much almost done. It's the OLP, One Liberty Properties. Let's take a listen. But yeah, the whole point is I just want to have things that constantly pay me, pay me a good dividend. One Liberty Properties only $23.24 per share. Nice. One Liberty Properties is a real estate investment trust which engages in acquisition, ownership, management of a geopolitically diversified portfolio consisting primarily of industrial real. Oh, that's not bad. And a lot of these have lower market caps, so it is a little sketchy. But if you diversify these, I mean, you can get a nice little dividend smorgasbord. And their earnings are not bad. Some of these just don't have bad earnings at all. So if you don't go all in on any one single one, and you just spread out your risk across these high-paying dividend stocks, it's not bad at all. One will back up the other in a sense, It's the theory of indexing, OLP. Yeah, this is great, man. BRT Apartments. Yeah, some of these have been down quite a bit, so it's some of these have been beaten up a bit. But analysts, I mean, the earnings are good for a lot of these, and they're beating out earnings. And I'm not recommending any of these. I'm just trying to build myself my own little REIT portfolio here. Well, I mean, I already have a REIT portfolio, but these are a little more higher yielding ones. But they're all in that dividend dogs index. So I thought, well, if those professionals think that these are good to have in your portfolio, and look, some of these may end up not being good at all to have in my portfolio. But I found that there's a lot of these I actually don't have. So adding these to my space on here is really good. And I like higher yielding stuff. So CSR, Center Space. It's got a pretty good market cap. Let's see. Ooh. It's not bad. What is Center Space? It's a real estate investment trust which engages in the business of owning, managing, acquiring multifamily. What's the... I mean, the yield's 4.58%, so that's not bad. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of people shorting it. Yeah, screw it. Let's add it to the portfolio. Yeah, so I'm really just adding a whole bunch of crap to the portfolio. I'm not going to say crap, but a lot of interesting companies to this portfolio. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to keep on adding, But yeah, thank you guys for being amazing so far, dude. We're just chilling out, getting. I'm basically building up a portfolio. I had ChatGPT look into one of the ETFs that actually holds a lot of REITs that have higher paying dividends, which is really nice. And you know me, I love my high paying dividends, and as long as it's not a complete trap, you know. That's the only thing that scares me is a dividend trap, you know. But yeah, not bad. And especially if I could diversify a little bit. Let's see. NXRT. Next point, a little try. Because I like having income come in from my dividends and stuff, so. 6.97%. My goodness. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, cool. I was making sure that they. I was looking up I meant K1, so I was trying to see if they actually issued a K1. Thank goodness they don't. That's good. Okay. So NXRT was the last one that we were looking at, which is Next Point Residential Trust. Did I actually buy a share? I did not. What's the dividend yield? 6.97%, dude. I love it. Yeah, and a lot of these don't seem like risky bets, which is nice. They seem to have really decent like earnings reports, and there's usually a good reason why an ETF would have these in there. So it's nice to know that I'm actually adding something decent to my portfolio. Hopefully, it's a little risky for some of these, but it is real estate exposure, and I do think that at the end of the day, real estate's going to get more and more scarce. And so even owning real estate investment trusts can be a huge key in the future, I think. UDR, I already own UDR, so that's one that has a pretty good dividend yield. BDN, Brandywine Realty Trust. It's kind of a lower cost one. Damn, 12.91% dividend yield. Screw it. I'll get some equity in this shit. I mean, I don't like lower. I'm always a little sketched out by high dividend yields and lower price points on it, but seems like it's not bad per share. A little risky though, is what it looks like, but I'll take it. I'll take it. DEA. Easterly Government Properties. Let's see. This one engages in a few different things. Yeah, 23.03 per share. Buy one share of that. I'm just buying like one share of each of these. just so that way I could remain super diversified. But yeah, 7.73% dividend yield. A lot of the analysts say hold or buy. One says sell, but a lot of them say hold. There is some short interest, though, in this, but it looks like their earnings have been pretty steady. This is one of the reasons why I love real estate investment trust, man, is because their earnings just seem to be so damn steady. So I don't know, man. I like it. DEA. Oh, I think I have Highwoods Property, HIW. Let's see. Yep, that's another one I got. And I have a pretty high yield. Hold on. 7.75%, geez. PSTL. Oh, Postal one. That's a good one. Postal Realty. I already got that one too. Yep. Go figure. It's got a 4.19% dividend yield, and I get some pretty good dividends on this one from time to time. Nice. Hell yeah. As long as I'm getting dividends, that's all that matters. And it's exposure to real estate. So honestly, SL Green Realty. I thought I still had that one. Oh, I must have sold it. Well, I could still buy it back. That's right, I bought it at a certain price. I bought it at a really low price, too. I bought it a long time ago, though. Yeah, I bought it like 35 per share, damn. But I've gotten a lot of dividends since then, so I don't know why I ever got rid of it. I was probably trying to make room in my portfolio at one point, so... Yeah, it looks like I'm only buying it back at a little more expensive than it was before, but that's not bad at all. Their dividend yield is 5.99%. Dude, these are dividend dogs, I'll admit. Are they a little riskier? But yeah, that's what diversification comes in, because some will go up more over than others. Hey, we got Hero. Sorry, I want to apologize for not paying attention to the chat as much. But yeah, I'm seeing the gas prices right now. Are they going down? I'm assuming that gas prices are going down right now. Yeah, front view FVR. This one seems to, 1792. I mean, all these can be very risky, by the way. So I do recommend, I can't really recommend anything. Just talk to a financial advisor is always your best bet in a lot of situations. But let's see. Getty Realty. That's it. I've never heard of this one. GTY. Real estate investment trust, which engages in the acquisition, financing, and development of convenience, automotive, and other single-tenant properties. Its portfolio includes convenience and gas, car wash, auto service, and auto parts. The company was founded by Leo. 5.77% yield, man. I mean, these are great. I mean, these yields are fabulous. And constantly seeing dividends come in is always like, for me, I enjoy seeing dividends come in, though. That's one of the reasons why I own a lot of these types of companies. But yeah, 5.77% yield, that's great. I don't know how, it looks like the ratings are good for it. The earnings are fine. Earnings are really what I care about. Does it have consistent earnings? I mean, REITs are pretty boring, but you want to make sure that you're getting into something that's not totally going to collapse. Now, there is short interest on it, though. Not too much as I thought there would be. But there could be some, what are analysts saying? Analysts are saying buy and hold. Buy or hold. Not one person saying sell. Convenience, automotive, and other single-tenant properties. The portfolio includes convenience gas. Yeah, this is great. It gives me some exposure to the auto sector. That's fine. That's great. And then NNN, which the triple N, I actually have triple N in my portfolio. That has done extremely well. They pay a great dividend, by the way, for triple N. So I will always be a big fan of triple N. And then Realty Income, which is O. Of course, I have. Yep, Realty Income. I already have that. Yep. And they pay a 5.05% dividend yield, and they also have good dividend growth over time. So that's another one I really love. BFS. Sol Centers. Let's see. Sol Centers is a real estate investment trust which engages in the ownership, management, and development of income-producing properties. It operates through the following segments: shopping centers and mixed-use properties. The shopping center segment consists of community and neighborhood shopping centers, which are anchored by supermarkets, discount, mixed-use properties. That's not bad. 6.9% dividend yield. It's been down, up. No, it's not bad. Seems pretty safe to me. Earnings are, well, there's a little bit of short interest, but its earnings appear to be pretty solid. Yeah. Great. I'll add this to the portfolio. Let's see what else we had in here. So we got BFS. We're pretty much almost done. We're almost at the end of the list. NSA, got that one. I'm pretty sure I got that one last time I checked. NSA, that's the National Storage Association. National Storage Affiliate. Yep, I have that one, and that one's done really, really well for me. They have a 5.26% dividend yield. Like I get basically every 3 months, I get 57 cents per share for this one as well. This one's a solid one. Anything that's storage related, I'm absolutely going to make sure I have it in my portfolio because people have a tendency to hoard things and they want to keep all the things that they hoard. So storage facilities are absolutely necessary. These are the ones I like to own. And then UMH properties. This is one I already have. Yeah, UMH properties. I think this one is it's a real estate investment trust which engages in ownership and operation of manufactured home communities in 7 states throughout the Northeast. It also leases manufactured homes to residents. It designs. Oh, great. That's great. I already have this one. Yeah. This is one I already own. Yeah, so this is fabulous, man. You know, the one thing I love about these companies is just they're all pretty solid. You know, they all seem to have good balance sheets. I would say good earnings mostly, but yeah, a lot of even the analysts recommend these ones. So crazy. Make sure that you guys double tap the screen to like the stream. It really does help the channel grow. We're a bit of a smaller channel. If you guys can, also subscribe to the channel. We're currently sitting pretty at 10,498 subs. Once again, we're at 10,498 subscribers, so we're kicking butt, as usual. Okay, so UMH, we already confirmed that I have that already. And then EPR. I already have EPR as well. God, I have like all these, dude. I have like every single one of these. I wouldn't say every single one of these, but I have a lot of these companies. This one's got a 6.31% yield, dude. Crazy. And this one's actually had some gains. Yeah, this one's gone up so much. And they still got a very fat dividend yield, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a great company, man. Holy crap, man. GLPI. Oh, yep, gaming and leisure properties. I have this one too. I got this one too, and that one's gone up quite a bit. It has a 6.49% yield, dude. Holy crap, man. It's got some short interest, though. That is one thing. Now, it does depend. Is gambling going to become less popular over time? Is it going to become more popular? Like, what's the deal with gambling, you know? But this one pays me every quarter 78 cents per share. So, and the share price is not that high. So, it's a big deal. So, I like adding these. In fact, you know, this is such a REITs. I may, every time I get $1,000 in profit, may just distribute it equally to all these that I have. I love these companies. These look great. Gladstone Land, I have land. That's a good one. Actually, has that one gone down? That one has gone down, but why? Why has it gone down? Is it $9.74 per share? Really? The dividend yield's at 5.72%. Everybody says hold on here. Oh, wow. Land pays out monthly? Fuck yeah. It's got good earnings. The earnings are fabulous for this. Why? Hell, I'll add to this position. Why not? Let's add 2 more shares. Let's beef up the position a little bit and see what happens, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, dude, when you got a 5.72% dividend yield, it pays the dividend out every 30 days. It's nice and convenient cash flow. I love it. It's not bad at all. Fuck, okay. I'm not going to put all my net worth into it. I think that's a bad call, but it's definitely one of those. All 6 analysts say hold. So, and then earnings, crazy. All right. So we got more land. Cool. Gladstone Land. VC Properties. This is another one that I hold. Yeah, this is a solid one, man. Yep, all analysts say basically buy or hold, one or the other. 6.22% dividend yield. Holy crap. I do want to add just 1 more share to this. I mean, these are fabulous, man. Crown Castle, that's one I have already. It's not bad at all. 18, see, 4. A little lower for the dividend yield. I forgot about that, but yeah, it's not bad. I got a pretty good equity in Crown Castle. They pay about $1.06 every quarter, so that's not bad at all. Yeah, I love these high yielding ones, man. Let's see, we got DLR. Digital Realty Trust, actually. This is one I don't have currently. I probably should have. It's got too low of a dividend yield, though, but it's gone up like crazy. It's got a very high price over earnings ratio, though, so I kind of don't trust it. So I will stay away from DLR. I do have other REITs that actually contain DLR in it, so I'll pass on that. AMT American Tower. Let's see. That is one I'm surprised I don't have, but it has too low of a yield. Let me see what the ratings are. Earnings are pretty good. Short interest is pretty low. I mean, it's pretty stable REIT, man. For services and owns, operates in multi-tenant real estate properties. Yeah. Association communication says to video and television. No, nobody's saying sell it. Yeah, it's just too low of a yield for me to justify that one. So I already have that one as well in a few other things. SBAC, SBA Communications. Again, these are great, but their yields are not high enough for me to want to justify this. So, yeah, those are great REITs, and I already have those in other like real estate investment trusts like ETFs. But I'm specifically looking for like any sort of REIT that has a 5% or higher dividend yield, and that's kind of the key. You know what I mean? All right, let's see what else we could look into. All right, let's see what Faulkner's
in focus
talking about.
now. Congressman Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio, and Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. Good to see you today. First of all,
good to be with you, Harris.
I just want to get into what we're just learning and get your response to what's happening in Fairfax County, Virginia.
Well, he's given preferential treatment to illegal migrants, and you can go look at his website where he said that he will take into account your immigration status when deciding what to charge. You don't do that for American citizens, so this has definitely happened. In the specific case where we had the murder of Stephanie Minter, that individual, parole officers and police officers said, this guy will do harm. Do not let him out. And they did. So that is how bad it's gotten there in Fairfax County, and frankly, in all kinds of sanctuary jurisdictions around the country. Understand, Harris, that 18 cities, 11 states, 3 counties, District of Columbia, all are sanctuary jurisdictions. But because they're big blue populated states and cities, that represents almost a third of the country live in jurisdictions where you have decisions like Mr. Descano was making, where they won't cooperate with ICE, they won't work with ICE, and they let bad guys who should be held, should be detained, or should be turned over to ICE, they let them out on the street, and bad things happen, as is the case with Miss Minter. So, yeah, he's scheduled to be in front of our committee next Thursday, the 14th.
Here's the thing, Orwell the resident, I don't trust the Washington Post because they have been after Trump since day one, and I don't think Iran's going to survive the blockade. And I think what's going to happen is Trump is going to get tired of talking, and so is Israel. Israel and the United States are going to get tired of talking to Iran because they're not communicating. So it makes perfect sense to me that Trump would want to go after Iran. It really does. And why not at this point? You know, Iran hasn't been working with us in any way, shape, or form. And I just think at this point, the best thing we could do is just, if they're not going to cooperate with us, why should we work with them, you know? And that's kind of one of the points I try to make is, why should we work with Iran when Iran doesn't clearly want to work with us, you know? I mean, that's just the way I see it. And call me naive, call me whatever you want. But if Iran refuses to work with us, what do we do then? I don't know. Do you? Yeah, I don't trust the Washington Post, so you're barking up the wrong tree. But if you guys can, double tap your screen to like the stream. One more time, double tap your screen to like the stream. I really thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for being so so incredible and coming in to watch the show, and you're all amazing. But let's keep going, man.
We'll see if he still comes. I hope he does. He better still come. But it's great that the Justice Department's looking into this as well.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I said earlier, because that's what the reports are, that you're looking for accountability. What about consequences? Who brings that on?
Yeah.
Well, and that's a good question, too. Where do the consequences come in? You know what I mean? And I think that, look, my main philosophy is this. I think that we got to stop trying to talk to Iran. I'm not one of those people who says stop communication, but honestly, when the person that you're trying to communicate with and make a deal with is being hostile, and they've done terrible things to the rest of the world for a very long time, I think something's got to give at a certain point. You know what I mean? Something's got to give. And we'll see what the result ends up being.
Yeah, the Justice Department, and that's why, God bless them, they're looking into this. I mean, we have a similar situation with Krasner in Philadelphia. We have another situation there in Arlington County. So this is happening around the country. And it's all part of the Democrats' big plan. Remember what they did. We should never forget the systematic plan and approach they took. First, during Biden, they let in 10 million illegal migrants. Then they create sanctuary jurisdictions all over the country where it makes it difficult to remove those migrants when they commit another crime. And then they say, we're not going to fund the guys who do the removing. We're not going to fund ICE. And some of these guys have taken it an even step further. Krasner says he's looking to arrest ICE agents for simply doing their job.
Jeez.
This is how bad it's gotten, but it's a systematic approach from the left to undermine the rule of law and give preferential treatment to...
Well, on the left, this is one of the reasons why the left consistently pisses me off. The left is always doing crap like this, dude. The left is always doing crap like this, and it shouldn't surprise any of us.
Illegal migrants.
Well, look, we have another example, and that was eye-popping what you just said. Nearly a third of the nation lives in sanctuary cities. Let's talk about New York, the entire state and city of New York City. New York governor...
And honestly, sanctuary cities, in my opinion, are a real bad idea. I think they're a terrible, terrible idea. Whoever thought that sanctuary cities would actually be a good thing, I don't know what you were thinking or doing, but dude, crazy. Sanctuary cities are not a good thing. Not in the slightest. Come on, man. You know they're not.
Kathy Hochul is going after border czar Tom Homan. This happened just a few minutes ago. Watch this.
Why we want state taxpayer dollars or even local county taxpayer dollars to be spent helping an agency that is literally just taking away your residents, their overreach and their excessive engagement in activities far beyond what was ever promised by the president or what Tom Homan has told me. I don't take well to threats. They're going to find that out.
That sounded like a threat. But anyway, Tom Homan, border czar, was on with Laura Ingraham last night.
Yeah.
Let's watch.
We're going to enforce the law regardless. And, you know, she wants to put fear in the migrant community. She wants to get American people to turn against ICE. It's just a false narrative. They're trying to scare.
Yeah, it's funny. It is a scare tactic. And honestly, there's got to be some law against what she's doing. She's basically trying to turn her citizens against ICE. That's essentially what she's trying to do, and that shouldn't happen. By the way, ICE is just as much of a legitimate federal agency as anything else. ICE is just as much of a legitimate federal agency as anything else. Straight up.
Scared not only the legal immigrant community. She says she supports. I've seen her 100 times saying, I support, you know, ICE targeting criminals. You can't square that and kick us out of the jails. You can't square that and kick us out of Rikers Island.
Is there some benefit to providing things to illegal aliens that you don't give American citizens? Like what?
Votes. Oh my God, it's just crazy, dude. Like, the fact that we're letting so many illegal immigrants, I'm not saying that we're doing it now, but the fact that it did happen is very telling. It's very telling. And obviously I'm sick and tired of all this. Sick and tired of the left, demonizing a federal agency. And by the way, whether you agree with ICE or not, it doesn't really matter. Just because you disagree with ICE doesn't mean you're right. You know what I mean? It just doesn't mean you're right. You could disagree with them until you're blue in the frickin' face. But it doesn't mean you're right. I'm on the wrong side of history. I don't really give a shit. Just because some crackpot liberal like yourself says I'm on the wrong side of history doesn't mean you're accurate. If anything, you have Trump derangement syndrome. Your hatred for Trump blinds you in so many ways. You have so much hatred. Granted, I just make fun of liberals. I don't hate them. I make fun of them because they're ridiculous. I don't take them seriously. Why should I? Why should I take any liberal seriously? Tell me, why? All you guys do is freak out about shit, and modern liberalism has become disgusting. I think it's putrid, and I judge it. I judge it harshly. Modern liberalism, I will continue to judge harshly. I will never vote Democrat. I refuse to vote Democrat at this point. The Democrat Party has lost me so much that I will never vote Democrat. By the way, we're at 10,499 subscribers. Once again, we're at 10,499. One more subscriber, and we get to 10,500. So who here wants to be the 10,500 subscriber? Who here wants to break that barrier? Who wants to be a millionaire? Who wants to be a subscriber? But yeah, whoever wants to be a subscriber, man, feel free to tap the subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner. It really does help the channel grow in a lot of ways, and we appreciate it. So whatever you guys want to do, man. Whatever. Tap that subscribe button. Yeah. 10,499 subs, bro. One more sub, and we're at 10,500, man. So who's it going to be? Who's going to be the 10,500 subscriber, bro? Oh, somebody is. Don't know who it is. But we're now at 10,500 subs, everybody. 10,500 subscribers. I got to take a whiz, and I'm going to brush my teeth real quick. So, BRB. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. BRB. Yeah, no, I love small government too, bro. I love small government, bro. What is you saying? What is you saying? What is you saying? But no, I do love small government, though, mainly because you don't want big government was never meant to be big. Government in any situation was never meant to be big. Just like my dangus. Give me a moment, though. I'm going to search something real quick, you guys. Hold on. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. All right. I like Poland. Why? I like Poland. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What is the benefit of that, Chairman?
No,
the
there is
benefit
none. It's just some crazy
Who knows?
left-wing policy and objective that they
Yeah.
have. Tom Holmes said it
The
best.
left
This
is
is about
crazy.
enforcing the law. Because understand what sanctuary jurisdictions in simple terms are that politicians tell local law enforcement not to work with federal law enforcement when it comes to enforcing federal law. That is what happens. So someone, an illegal migrant, gets arrested for some crime. They're in the detention center, in the jail. A detainer notice from ICE is sent to the jail saying, if you're going to let this individual out, give us a heads up. We'll show up and apprehend them there in the detention center with one ICE agent. So we don't have to have.
Honestly, that's pretty smart. I'm not going to lie. That's smart as hell. Hell yeah. Absolutely. But by the way, if they shouldn't be in this country, if they don't have, if they didn't go in through proper channels, that's a problem. All right? It's a problem. Give me a moment. It'll take a second.
Have 15 out on the street to do it. And they will say, the local community will say, because they're a sanctuary jurisdiction, no, we're going to release them to the street. I've seen the form. They stamp on there, release to the street. Then you have to go out and you jeopardize the safety of the community, the safety of law enforcement.
That's insane, bro. That is insane.
And frankly, the safety of that migrant, because it takes 15 people or whatever to arrest them or apprehend them on the street. That is just stupid. That is just crazy left-wing policy, all done for crazy left-wing reasons. But it jeopardizes the safety of the entire community that those elected officials are supposed to serve, like Mr. Descano is supposed to serve the citizens of his community.
Well, and the backdrop for all of this, if you will, Chairman, is the continued chatter on the left about allowing illegal aliens to vote. Because if you do all those things for them, they will vote for you. Your last quick word.
Yep.
Yep. No, it's all politics, and it makes no sense. I love what President Trump has said. You know, the divide in America today is normal versus crazy, common sense versus crazy. Anyone with common sense knows this jurisdiction sanction.
And that's the thing. The left has become the party of lack of sense. The left has become the party of lack of sense. If you really think about it. And this is why I say the left has lost their collectivist minds. I don't trust the left at all. If anything, I don't know why anybody would. I mean, the left does these crazy things. They believe in these crazy ideals. They can't even tell me what a you-know-what is, you know? So it looks like I have a lot of these. Hold on. I'm looking at more REITs. So bear with me. SLG, I got SLG. MRP, Milrose Pro. Oh, I don't have this one. %10 dividend yield? Damn, bro. Some of these are well hidden. Some of these REITs are just so well hidden. It's crazy. Looks like this one's got good earnings, so yeah, I'll add this to the list. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm adding a bunch of high-yielding REITs to my portfolio real quick, so thank you guys for being patient with me. Looks like I got a lot of these from the other REIT, so a lot of these are already in my portfolio, so I don't really need to search for too many, but... Oh, PK, I think I have PK. Yep, I got PK. DEI. Douglas. Oh, wait. Douglas Emmett, I don't have that one. I do not. It's got a good yield. $12.24. Kind of a lower market cap. Earnings seem good. Analysts say buy and hold. Hell yeah, I'll buy like a couple shares. It's only like $12.24 per share. So, yeah, essentially, I'm just really diversifying my my holdings. You know, I'm getting exposed to a lot of different companies. AHRLD, yep, I got that one. APLE, I got that one. CTO, I got CTO. GNL, got that one. RLJ, I don't think I have that one. Hold on, RLJ. Already got that one, never mind. NXRT, got that too. NSA, National Storage, yep. DEA, let's see, do I got that one? I'm basically trying to add more REITs to my portfolio. SILA, I think I got all these already because I got them from the other REIT, yeah. AAT, wait, hold on, AAT. American Asset Trust, got that one too. Oh, I think I got Health Peak Properties. It's under Doc. Yep. I own Health Peak Properties. They got a nice healthy dividend yield. It's a good, damn, that's good. It's a good yield, man. Buy that, add that to the shares, and yeah, it looks like I got pretty much all the best paying REITs. GTY. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to create the ultimate dividend portfolio. Essentially, I love gathering up dividends. So there's the Global X Super Dividend REIT ETF, SRET. And this is not financial advice by any means, but SRET is designed to hold high-yielding REITs globally. Global X Tribes is targeting 30 of the highest-yielding REITs worldwide. Mm-hmm. This is interesting, bro. Hold on. So these are good high-paying ones. Damn, dude. 9.13% yield. That's flipping insane, bro. HR, do I have HR? Yep, I do. SBRA, do I have Sabra? Yes, I do. Damn, dude, I've actually got a lot of good ones. Hold on. Is that still good income? Let's see. Okay. OHI. That's another good... Dude, some of these healthcare ones that I got into have gone up so much. And then... BNL. This one is... so BNL is Broadstone Net Lease. It's a pretty good one. Looks like it's pretty solid. Good foundation. 5.85% dividend yield. Hell yeah. This is cool. I'm basically matching a lot of these indexes that have all these REITs and stuff like that. So it's a huge deal. Yeah, a lot of these pay a good dividend. So I'm basically just mimicking indexes that already exist with higher paying dividend yields. So I like it. Let's see. GLPI got gaming and leisure. EPR. Starwood. Do I have Starwood? I think I do, but let me double check. I do. Yep. Yeah, I've had a lot of these for a while. VC Properties. VC is one of my favorites, by the way. Yeah, I love VC Properties, dude. That's like one of my faves. Blackstone Mortgage Trust. Yep, we got that one too. 9.75% dividend yield, dude. Holy crap. That is truly amazing, though. There we go. I had to complete this to make sure I had at least one share of this. Hold on. Armor Residential REIT. Now I have one share. And a 16.52% dividend yield, dude. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. ARR, baby. Let's see. There's a few good ones, man. TRTX. Let's see. Damn, bro. Hold on. That's a good yield, man. I'm just going to buy 2 shares of this one. It's a very low share price, so I'm kind of looking through. Sorry, you guys. I'm just looking through a bunch of REITs, and I'm adding a few REITs to my portfolio. And EFC. Let's see, EFC. .5% yield. Man, a lot of these have high yields. Annaly Capital. I think I have Annaly still. NLY. I sure do. They got a 12% yield, dude. Some of these have just the craziest yields. Some of these have like the most wild yields. KRC. Kilroy Realty. And that's another one, 6.16% annual yield. And these are great dividend companies, man. These pay a good dividend. You know, you know what's funny? A lot of these ETFs, you don't even need, you just need to find out what they're holding and just add it to your portfolio if you want to get the same result, that is. So we got Ladder Capital. Got that one already. Dynex Capital, let's see. Did I have that one at one point? Wow, I never owned Dynex Capital? Really? Fundamentals look okay. Hold on. Short interest. Doesn't look like there's a lot of short interest as there's internally managed mortgage real estate investment trust and engages in the business of investing in mortgage. Oh, it gets into mortgage-backed securities. Well, as long as I have a long position that does not take up most of my net worth, I am A-okay with that. So I will add it to my portfolio. If it's good enough for this index, it's good enough for my portfolio. Like I said, I'm indexing on my own. I don't need, I need the portfolio. I need these ETFs to tell me what to put into the portfolio, and I'll put it into my portfolio as a long-term holding. I trust REITs quite a bit. Maybe not completely. I'm not willing to put all my net worth into one single REIT, but I am willing to diversify across REITs that, REITs that hold, ETFs that hold a bunch of good REITs, So I want to have REITs in there. Oh, WP Carry. Do I still have WP Carry? They got a good stable yield. Yeah, I got to have WP Carry in there. I'm an idiot not to. BNL, I already have that. EPR, have that. Lineage? I don't think I have Lineage. No, I have Lineage. I already got that one. Today. AGNC. Last time I checked, I have AGNC. Let me take a look. AGNC. Yes, I do. 2 shares of that bad boy. Fuck yeah. Let's see. We got NNN, Triple N. Yeah, I got that one already. OHI. I think I have OHI. Let me take a look. OHI. Yep. NLY have it. Starwood Property Trust have it. VC has it. Blackstone Mortgage Trust. That is one I definitely have. BXMT. MRP. Adams Trust. Let's see. Adamas Trust. Okay, well, that's the one I already have. Oh, I bought that one today. No, I've actually had this one for a while. When did I get? I've had this for a while. I only have 1 share of it? Dude, it's got 10%. Dude, I gotta have more than just 1 share of it. That's crazy. I'm gonna add 1 more share. Fucking crazy, dude. Alexander's. I think I have Alexander's. Maybe I don't. Hold on. ALX. That's too high per share. It's got a 7.0.9% dividend yield. There's a lot of short interest on it, though. What does Alexander's do? Is a real estate investment trust company which engages in leasing, managing, developing, and redeveloping its properties. Its operating properties are located in the greater New York City metropolitan area. That's not bad. Well, VSS is down. Tell me, are you down, 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 down? Hopefully Bitcoin crashes further because I want to get some profit from the Bitty. Bitty my titty. Yeah, anytime Bitcoin crashes, I'm pretty happy about that. Global Net Reese. 2 harbors. I think I have 2 harbors. Hold on. That is one I think I do have. Yeah, they've been pretty decent. 11% yield. Yeah, I think I should actually add this to my portfolio. A lot of people just say hold. Yeah. Well, I do like a good yield, so I'll add just 1 more share because I already have 1 share, and it hasn't grown like super much, but it's grown a decent amount. And then what's another one? We got 2 cold. I got that one. I got good. I got CTO. I don't know if I have that one. Hold on. Okay. And then there's a Spider portfolio S&P 500 dividend ETF. Yeah, I could create my own dividend portfolio. Interesting. Global X Super Dividend ETF. That's an interesting one to have in the portfolio. Hold on. I want to see what I could put in here. Hold on. It's got a decent dividend yield for some of these. Yeah, that's just too low of a dividend. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where oil prices go. TIGO. That's not bad. Millicom. Changes in stable and mobile services. UAN. Let's see. Yeah, at this point, it needs to have like a 4% or higher yield. That's just a little too high for the price point, though. Yeah, some of these are just a little too high for the price point's my problem. FLNG. Let's see. FLNG. Well, good yield. It's not bad. Low enough price point. Let's see. Good yield. I'll take a chance on it. It's good to have exposure to oil anyway, because if oil prices do go up, it'll be a bit interesting. CBL. Oh, CBL. I haven't heard of this one in a while. Wonder how they're doing. Yeah, not high enough, man. SFL. Let's get a high enough dividend yield. I'll take a chance on it. All American Pipeline. Let's see here. PAA. That's a really good dividend yield, actually. Looks like analysts are pretty mixed about it, though. It's a low enough price point to get into it, though. Yeah, why not? Fuck it. It seems like if it's a part of the super dividend one, I'm bound to get into it. Altria Group, already got that one. Westlake Chemicals, Global Ship Lease. What's the other one? There's another CGL Global Partners, JBB, VVV, Verizon, Pfizer. It's funny because I actually have a lot of these companies already. Kraft Heinz, Large Food. Not bad. Okay. Well. Global Ship Lease. Let me see here. They got a good yield. Looks like they got steady cash flows and. Yeah, I would say let's maybe add one share of that one. Yeah, some of these in this index are not that bad at all. And these are ones that I already have, too, a lot of these. So... I'm asking, actually, I got kind of curious. I'm asking GPT if it could recommend any specific REITs. You know what I mean? Seeing what it recommends. Because I do get curious to see what GPT has to say sometimes. Granted, Chat GPT could be wrong about some shit, so. But yeah, I'm pretty much just looking to kind of rock up my portfolio with a little more diversification and higher yields. But yeah, basically a diversified long-term portfolio of higher yielding dividend stocks, good companies, good REITs, mainly REITs. I just feel like the real estate sector can be, I wouldn't say safer per se, but it has less risk and more cash flow. So it's kind of like lower risk, higher reward is my philosophy with the real estate investment trust sector, you know, and that's kind of the way I work with it. I'm a huge fan. Obviously, you guys know me. I'm a big fan of real estate investment trusts. I love having exposure to real estate, but I also like having the cash flows that come with some of these. When will I be able to retire? I mean, technically at this point, I wouldn't say I'm retired, but I do have enough cash flows from my streams of income to sustain me long term, which is good. My swing trading helps out a lot, but I also, like I said, I love adding, I wouldn't say safe, but I basically add very small positions that are real estate investment trusts that give out pretty high yielding dividends that are safe. Let's see what GPT said. I'm kind of curious. Okay. So it said VC properties, that's a good one. Gaming and leisure properties, realty income. Triple N REIT, WP Carey, got that one back on the boards. Broadstone Net Lease, Getty Realty, Omega, LTC Properties, and EPR. Yeah, but I already have all those. So can you do a top 50 instead of a top 10? I want to see what it says for his top 50. I wouldn't say I'm like a millionaire or anything. No, nothing like that. But, you know, I have a lot of streams of income that help me out a lot, especially my dividends. And the one thing I love about owning a lot of different high-yield dividend companies is the returns are nice at the end of the year typically. And if you have an index of them, it kind of backs up some of the ones that go down a lot of the time. So it's a protection mechanism for sure. But I really do enjoy swing trading, though. I swing trade index ETFs, small caps. But yeah, I love having REITs in my portfolio. It's just nice. And that's always the point of real estate investment trusts overall, is that they provide really good cash flows in a portfolio. And if you want higher yields, but you want to have a bit of a safety blanket, diversification is a good idea. And also, in a lot of ways, I love copying a lot of these real estate investment trust ETFs and see what their holdings are and just kind of copy their long-term outlook. A lot of the time, it's pretty much one of my keys to the game in a lot of ways. So doing that does help quite a bit, without a doubt. I hope that makes sense to everybody. It may or may not. I'm not sure. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm a millionaire twice over. No, nothing like that. Okay, it looks like ChatGPT was able to give me a top 10. So the first 10 I actually already have. BNL, Doc, Sabra. Ooh, Four Corners property. I don't know if I have that one. Hold on, let's see. We're trying to get the... Okay, that is one I already have. Yep. Four Corners Property Trust. What about Cube? I have Cube. That's one I already have. Yeah, Cube actually has 5.21% dividend. Nice. We have NSA, National Storage. We have that one. Apple Hospitality. Yep. Actually, you know what? I should add a little to my position on that one. Just a little bit. So I only have like one share of it. And it's not a bad one. It pays a monthly dividend, which is kind of cool. Let's see. LTC we have, I believe. That is one we already have. I think I'm pretty sure I have the majority of these, if we're going to be honest. Lineage, Cold, Kilroy, SLG. Pretty sure I added SLG back in. Yep, SLG's back in. ARE. Last time I checked, I got ARE. Yep. SILA, I think I have SILA already. Yep, that's one I got. AAT. American Assets, yep, I got that one. UMH, got that one. PK, RLJ, let's see, got that one too. Do I have I think I do. Yep. Summit Hotel Properties, yep. That one's appears to be pretty decent. Good cash flows. Yeah, I'll buy one more share of that. It's not bad at all. And then we got Gladstone Commercial, which Gladstone Commercial is not bad. I think that one's a little bit lower of a price. Let me see. Kind of tiny. It's grown. It's gotten pretty big. Yeah, Gladstone's not bad at all. GNL, Global Net Lease is one I got. CTO is what I got. Sol Centers, BFS. Pretty sure I got that one already. Yeah, I pretty much added like the best of the best, highest yielding ones that money could buy, which is nice. NXRT, next point. Yeah, I got NXRT. Yeah. In some of these, by the way, a lot of these I didn't have already, so this is adding to the portfolio growth quite a bit. But it's adding to the dividends as well. I may start actually. Yeah, I love having a REIT portfolio though, and that's the thing. I love diversification more than anything. So, when it comes to investing, that is. Rhythm. I think I have Rhythm Capital. Hold on. DX. Yeah, I got Dynex Capital, I think. Hold on. DX is... Yeah, Dynex Capital, man. They have crazy... I mean, they have a crazy yield, man. They got some of these are just insane. That's one of the reasons why you don't go all in on anything. It's better sometimes just to be safe and create an index. Not financial advice, by the way. Arbor Realty Trust. Let's see, I only got one share of this one. Why? Why don't I have more? Yeah, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. Why don't I own more of this? Let's add 2 more shares. Fuck it. Yeah, and the yield. The yield is 14.48%. Granted, is it a little bit risky? Sure. But the earnings are solid. Yeah, this is why I use a little bit of diversification as a security blanket to some degree, and this is what you need to do. Allegedly, not financial advice. Let's see, I got ARI. Hold on. Yeah, honestly, every few months I could always add on to the positions, which is good. LADR. I'm pretty sure I got that one. Yep. Yeah, so I got each and every one of these pretty much. And 23. Yeah, that's a huge yield, dude. That's a huge ass yield. Yeah, I'll add one more position. Just one more buy anyway. Just add to it. Yeah, no, and the dividends that are paid out for some of these are just insane, dude. And yeah, adding to the dividend portfolio is always solid. Yeah, it's nice to see the Iranian dictatorship's nearly gone, which is fabuloso, by the way. All right, there we go, folks. I expanded the portfolio a bit. It's a little bit better, a little easier, a little simpler. Still got a lot of cash money to use. Well, it looks like silver's going down a bit, but silver's staying up quite a bit too. Yeah, either way, man, that's the one thing I love about swing trading silver the most is that when it goes up rapidly, you could just sell off a little here and a little there, and you're pretty much golden. I love it. But yeah, able to add those additional positions, man. It's not bad at all. Heck yeah. But I do think I'm going to call it quits for now. Just for the day. Not for the day. I'm going to be streaming a little bit later, but yeah, I just want to thank each and every one of you guys for, being around. ET is wondering, why am I zoomed in? So I just decided to full screen myself. Keep myself a little more full screened on this one. Scale up a little. That sort of thing. But yeah, no, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's always fun to expand the portfolio a little bit, considering I love adding like high yield positions, and having a very diversified portfolio of REITs that pay a high yield can be very advantageous, especially if you're not going all in on them. You're just buying like a share or two at a time, and but you're just gonna get fat rewards, man. It's good. I love it. But we're going to see what the result ends up being. Will there be peace? Will there be some form of prosperity? I don't know. I just don't know. But we'll see what the end result ends up being. It could be a positive one. It could be a negative one. But hey, if you guys can, though, don't forget to send a gift. It does help the channel in a lot of ways. Yeah, I just appreciate all you guys for being so thoughtful and understanding. Jepper is saying that the economy is screwed. Why do you think the economy is screwed, Jepper? Let me know why you think the economy is screwed. I'm curious. I don't really think the economy's totally effed. I mean, I will say this, though. One of the reasons why I like owning real estate investment trusts is that the real estate itself will maintain its value. Obviously, there may be times where some of the companies struggle to get their properties leased out to other businesses. So, yeah, here's the thing. If there's negative look, oil does affect all markets. It does affect everything, admittedly. And that's something to consider. I am curious to see if GPT I'm going to see if there's a 51 through 100 because it gave me a top 50 list. I figure why not? Why not add a little more position, especially if they're higher yielding. Higher yield is great, dude. As long as it's not a total dividend trap. That's the only thing you got to look out for. That's one of the reasons why the diversification aspect is so important here. And it's funny, I found out I did have quite a few of the REITs that were in these indexes, so I was already on the right track to begin with. And which is nice, very nice. But yeah, I do believe in the old adage that at the end of the day, income is the outcome. I learned that from Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. Hell of a book, by the way. If you guys have never read it, absolutely take the time to read that book. It is so freaking incredible. But yeah, man. Got it. Hold on. Interesting. So here's some more REITs I could potentially add to the portfolio. Yeah, I think I have all these too. Let's see. We got BXP. Yeah, so a lot of these ones it's listing on here I already have. So I'm pretty much just indexing the entire market, it feels like. BXP. Oh, I had BXP and I think I sold it, didn't I? Oh, I sold it at the right time. I could buy at a lower price. Nice. Operates real estate investment trust, Class A portfolios. That's nice. Seems like a safe one. Good earnings. What type of properties do they own? Portfolio Class A properties are from develops. So it basically just owns a bunch of Class A properties. That's not bad. It's gone down quite a bit this year, so I'll add it back to the portfolio. That sounds great. Looks like it's a 5.5%, 5.15% dividend yield. Add it for a little safety and stability. And then we got, let's see, we already have HR in the portfolio. So we got HR, Healthcare Realty Trust. Got Crown Castle already. Cousins property. Let's see. CUC. I've never heard of this one. Oh, this one's gone down quite a bit. Yeah, some of these REITs actually go down quite a bit. You know what I mean? When I'm looking at them, and it's like, let's see. It's got some good yields, though. Looks like it's got a stable portfolio of. A lot of analysts are saying buy it. So earnings look great. Earnings look fantastic on this one, actually. And none of this is financial advice, by the way. But yeah, no, it's looking good. I mean, honestly, adding these to the portfolio, solid. Let's see. So it's saying Cousins property. That one's
Hey, baby. Let's see. We're going to end the stream here in just a second, but none of this is financial advice. You guys better realize that. But yeah, I'm just looking to see what the top REITs would be that have a 5% or greater yield that are still decent and well respected, I guess you could say. So adding all these to the portfolio is pretty fun to add. And a lot of them are low stock prices to begin with, so it's not like I'm paying an arm and a leg per share. But there is a security blanket of diversification with a higher yield. So I do like the fact that I'm spreading out my risk like Rockefeller. Oh, I think I had this one at one point. No, I never had this. This is a REIT. So this one's called Rexford Industrial Realty. So this one's like a self-administered and self-managed real estate investment trust, which engages in owning and operating industrial properties in infill markets. Let's see. Yeah, great yield. That's a perfect yield. So we got Rexford. And then SMA is another one. Let's see. Do I have that one? And a lot of these I already had, so I was already on the right track with a lot of these higher yielding ones. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Oh, this one's a self-storage REIT. It's got a good yield, good earnings. And this is another thing. Like I always say, I try to nab up as many self-storage REITs as I can, because these, I honestly think that, you know, people hoard a lot of stuff. People have a lot of stuff they need to store. And, you know, storage units are always going to be in a premium. So owning these types of REITs is always very advantageous. Hold on. Oh, it looks like it froze on me. Looks like the Robinhood app froze on me a little bit. Hold on, let me try that one more time. See if the order went through. Pretty sure it did. Oh, it's just kind of fucking out on me, it looks like. Hold on. There we go. I just had to restart the app. Hold on, you guys. SMA. But yeah, no, I love having a very diversified portfolio of REITs. It's great. Just because the cash flows are very strong, and as we always say on the channel, income is the outcome. So if you can get high yields, and there's some risk to a high yield REIT, don't get me wrong. That's why you have the diversification factor in all this. But yeah, no, some of these are great, and a lot of their earnings are fantastic. So these are good recommendations for long-term, you know, especially if you want to get exposure to real estate, but you don't have the ability to buy a house. You know what I mean? So it's like buying a house it's not impossible, but it's definitely, you know, sometimes you're just better off not buying a house at all. Having a good portfolio that pays you get to be more mobile, you know? More mobility, the better. And, yeah, I just love higher yields. I'm obsessed with high yields, you guys. I got a problem. There's one called Strawberry Fields REIT. Let's take a listen or take a look. Oh, I already have this one. Oh, I already got that one earlier. God, I got goldfish memory, dude. I've got goldfish memory, bro. I'm fucked. Whoa, one of these has a 710% dividend yield? That's not possible. Hold on. That seems like some data fuck up right there. Oh, 33.8. Whoa, that's a dividend trap. See, this is where it gets in the weeds. Some of these are really getting in the weeds quite a bit. So you want to be very wary. That's in penny stock territory. Yeah, let's see. Site centers. Yeah, some of these are getting into like some real sketchy territory. So if you're going to get into any of these, and the funny thing is, the ones that aren't in sketchy territory, I had these already in my portfolio, so I feel very proud of myself. I got to give myself a pat on the back. I deserve a gold star. See, SACH. Oh. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop gooning to all this shit, so I'm going to let you guys go. As you guys know, I'm very obsessed with this shit. And yeah, these are all pretty low cost, but also have good balance sheets, good earnings. I'm actually shocked at some of these with their earnings. Yeah, anyway, I'll catch you guys later. I'll be doing a show a little bit later. I may go live on TikTok outside at some point because I found out if I do like one more stream, I get access to gifts. So that means I'll be able to receive gifts on a TikTok live stream just like I do on YouTube. So I'd be able to expand my reach and audience to the TikTok. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the platform, if it sells tickets, it sells tickets, man. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you, Jepper, for tuning in, and everybody else. You guys are incredible. Thank you guys for the gifts, and